As time moved further along, artists and public figures of the past are forgotten or lost in time, and how great they were in their time is also forgotten about. And if the history isn't passed down to the next generations, it gets lost forever, so to speak. Similar to Fred Hampton, he was someone that was instrumental to the civil rights movement. I mean, he was just as integral in the forward progress of the black race as MLK and Malcolm were, but his story isn't echoed as much. That goes for music as well. The Randy Browns, the Bloodstones, the H Towns, the Foxy Browns, I mean, complete juggernauts in their time, are lost in time. And that brings me to 1984. During the prime years of arguably the greatest artists of our parents in our lifetime, Michael Jackson and Prince, there was a new artist from West Palm Beach, Florida, that went by the name of Eugene Wilde. And like I said, at that time, he did something extraordinary, in my opinion, which was made two number one hits in a year span, going against some of the greatest artists this world has ever seen. But let's rewind back to December 6, 1961. Born Ronald Eugene Broomfield in West Palm Beach, Florida, he was truly immersed in a musical family. Eugene began singing at the age of 5, leading to his teenage years where he formed the group La Voyage, which is a collection of him, his brothers, his sister, and his cousins. And in 1982, they made an underground hit in Florida, which was titled Never Looking Back. And even though him and his family went from nightclub to nightclub performing, gaining notoriety, he branched off to do his own thing. Adopting the stage name Eugene Wilde, Eugene being his middle name, and Wilde being inspired by a New York club named Wildflowers. In 1984, he joined Philly World Records, and with them he penned and recorded his first solo song, Gotta Get You Home Tonight. And this song is the song he's most known for, the one that solidified him his urban legend status in the R&B music lore. This song hit number one on the US R&B charts for a week in 1985 and also peaked at 83 on the Billboard Hot 100. Also outside of the US, it peaked at 18 in the UK. But that's not all. Within that same year, Eugene Wilde released another hit single, which is my personal favorite, Don't Say No Tonight, which to this date is his most successful recording, spending 3 weeks at number one on the R&B charts and peaking in the US at 76 on the US Billboard Hot 100. In the late 1980s, he continued to release hits such as Let Her Feel It and Diana, with him transitioning into the 1990s. While Eugene Wilde's solo career slowed down, he began songwriting for other artists like Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys. For the Backstreet Boys, he wrote their 1998 hit I'll Never Break Your Heart, which in 1998 peaked at 35 on the Billboard 100. Wilde has also had an everlasting imprint on hip hop music through the magic of samples. His hit Gotta Get You Home Tonight has been sampled over 20 times, with some of the most notable samples, of course, being Foxy Brown's 1996 hit Get Me Home featuring Blackstreet. And that song peaked at number 10 on the US R&B Billboard charts. And from what I can remember as a kid, man, that Foxy Brown song was next level. And what made it even better was the fact that it was a female truly taking that song by the horns and making a masterpiece at the time when rap was heavily influenced by men. Wilde's brand of sensual, melodic R&B set the stage for artists like Jodeci, R. Kelly, and later Drake and Tory Lanez. His music was a contribution to the blueprint of the thug love aesthetic that became popular in hip hop and R&B collaborations. While Eugene may not directly be involved in hip hop, his music has been an essential piece of the evolution, especially how rap artists incorporate smooth, classic R&B into their sound. And as of March 2025, Wild keeps a very low profile and is working with various artists behind the scenes. And even though he doesn't have the overall influence of the Michael Jacksons, the Princes, the Whitney Houstons, in my book, he's done an amazing job at solidifying his legacy forever in the history because if you don't know him by name, you know him by song. And what's so unique about it that, in my opinion, it's a song with its own specific sound. So either way you look at it, that's completely legendary to me.